Good afternoon, this is Mad G. We are right next to the bus terminal here in Midtown Manhattan, and I just figured we'll just do a little stream in the city. So we just left a soccer game today, a football game, and we did very well. So next week will be our playoffs, then after that will be our season starting. So right now I've just taken a look at the view of the traffic, because this traffic here is jammed, packed. As you can see to my left is a bus terminal, and one lane is taken away. They put potted plants in one of the lanes, and the other lane there's as you can see, there's taxis. So it's really quite packed. And to navigate this place is really hard to do at this moment. But in this area, we're very close to Times Square. As you can see, the billboards and that are starting to appear above. It's a very warm afternoon in New York City. So hello everyone, and as you can see, it's so packed that another taxi man can get out of his taxi and walk around. There you go, he gets in, he found himself a taxi. Easy pickings for him. So what do you know? So there's nothing to see for me. I'm just in the driver's seat. And these people don't even know how to drive. Look at this black cab trying to get into a lane that there's no give, and he's blocking me and all the people behind me. It is funny. It is funny how people are. And the funny crazy thing is, the guy who found his taxi, he exited. Oh man, he got in a taxi. He drove for like about a couple feet away, and then he got out. All because of this traffic, I guess. So yeah, this New York City is quite packed right now in this area. You know, 8th Avenue is a very good avenue to try and find places to eat, and it almost seems like a still picture that you know, is kind of. Hey Chi, nice to see you in the chat. It's such a nice day. Exactly. You see a lot, if you could see it on the right, a lot of people traffic. People are out here, and I just figured, you know, I'm coming home from a football game, and I want to bring to you see some of this New York City traffic. I'm driving, so I can't do any shout outs or anything like that, but I'll just do the verbal audible shout out. If you guys are in the chat, please check them out. They're a variety streamer, and as I was just explaining, they cut the street and they put the parking in the middle of the street, and then they take and put a bicycle lane, and then they put pots and plants in one of the lanes. So you're missing 1, 2, 3, 4 lanes. Now I have to shift over to the furthest right lane for me to go. So yeah, this traffic is Really ridiculous in New York City. That's why I don't drive only. Thanks. I'll be focusing on the road, of course. Thanks for that. Right, in this like 8th Avenue area, it's kind of like the back door to all these theaters that are behind Times Square. We're basically behind Times Square along 8th Avenue. Times Square is like 7th Avenue and on Broadway. So we're on 8th Avenue, like in the back door, and in between these side streets, there's a lot of theaters, a lot of Broadway plays and shows that you can catch. So much activity, and like I said, on 8th Avenue, going all the way up, even further, you can find so many good places to eat. And well, you don't need to go. You need to go very far to find good things to do and to eat, places to eat. I think I just saw somebody that looked like a wrestler, but anyway, he just had a smirk on his face. Yeah, so that's how you navigate through the cities, cautiously, carefully, and if you want to be a tourist, just look at all the tall buildings. A lot of brand new structures have risen in the past few years, and it's a continuous construction. Like right to the left, right along the Hudson, they're called Hudson Yards, next to the Hudson River, and in that area they developed it within 6 years, 5-6 years. They shot up some new big buildings. I don't know, 50 stories tall, and well, I'm gonna stay on this street here. See, they even call this street, 46th Street, Restaurant Row. So that's interesting. Now, you know, one of the things that people have always faced here in New York City and other major cities is the high cost of living, and now the entire world, I mean, not just the United States and even Canada, perhaps you could say, all around the world, the prices have gone up for living exponentially, especially for housing, and it's been a big problem. So now the whole world kind of gets a little feel of how it is to live in the New York City, within their own neighborhoods, wherever they live, because it was always a little bit too high. Heck, Manhattan has always been high. Now all around New York City, all the 5 boroughs, the districts, the regions, has been quite costly. How was your day, Chi? What have you been up to? Okay, enjoy your groceries, and thank you for lurking. We appreciate that. Thank you for the lurk. Yeah, so this is just a little bit of view of traffic in New York City. I don't know how long we'll stay live. Maybe till my battery tells me I can't. I was thinking maybe I could stop in one of these places and get some food, but there's no place to park. They've gotten rid of parking, basically, and now a 6-lane avenue, 8th Avenue, has turned into 2 drivable lanes. So that really causes the congestion. What a bright idea these past 3-4 mayors we've had, with their long-term planning for their thing, and they cause the problem. They're causing this chaos. They're causing these traffic jams, you know, and it's just going to continue to get worse, because now they put these ticket toll booth machines over some of these major avenues, so that when people come in from New Jersey or from upstate or wherever, when they come in, they're gonna get billed a toll from the city. And I don't know how they're getting away with it, but it's to me it's illegal. And for New York State to allow that to happen, it's quite fraudulent. People already pay a lot of money to get their cars, whether it's used or new. I'm still paying on this vehicle that I'm driving. Yeah, so this is the theater district. I would call it the theater district if there was any. Man, before COVID, things were bearable. Now things are unbearable. The ways of living, ways of life. Anyway, so today we had a good practice training game, and kids are very enthusiastic. They're learning so well, doing so well in the games, and it's good to see as a coach. So it's very uplifting to be a coach, because when you're a coach and a mentor, and you see progress happen, it's an amazing thing to see them accomplish. The kids accomplish a lot of good things. Shall I go up ahead towards Central Park? I think I should. And this guy is caught up in the middle of somewhere, who knows where. Yeah, so I think I've driven up all the way towards as far as I could, and then I think it's Columbus Circle. We're right in front of Central Park area. And when you one of the things when you walking around New York City, you see these tall buildings, and a lot of them are older, brown brick type of atmosphere. Some of them are just so old. These might be anywhere from 100 years, 70 to 100 years old, and then you have the newer buildings from the 1990s, and those have some nice what do you call it? Some nice flat, clean looking type surfaces. And then you'll have the ones for the 2020s, these new buildings that are popping up, and they have some curvatures to it, some different designs, and I guess it's also to help alleviate some of that wind, because they're so tall that man, I don't know why these taxis don't know how to drive. But there's a Columbus Circle to the left, and then you see this big statue, like a Statue of Liberty, on top of some horses, right there on top of that big structure. And then underneath that structure, you have around that big structure, and then structure, I should say. And of course, this is Central Park straight ahead, and we're turning right along this street. This is what it looks like. There's these high-end expensive hotels are to the right, and right here it is, like the beginning of Central Park. Lots of you don't see the trees with any leaves, but they're gonna start to come back. We had a nice rain yesterday. It rained all day, so I would imagine within a week or two you're gonna start to see some vegetation, some green leaves start to appear on those trees. Except for that pine type of tree that can last all year round. But the leaves are going to start to come back within the next 2 weeks. Yesterday I planted some sunflower seeds. I didn't broadcast it or record it because the location, I always lose signal So maybe one day I'll do like a little YouTube type of video, just recording. But anyway, you see the people, and you see lots of people on horses and statues here in New York City. And then one of the other things that you also could look forward to is these bicycle carts. They can drive you around. I think it's really just for the experience. It might cost you, I don't know how much, but it'll be outrageous, the price, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how much it'll charge. I'm guessing estimate $40 a trip, or I don't know, per ride. I have no idea how they charge. Yeah, but there's the Ritz-Carlton, New York Central Park, and the frontage area there. They have their facade, and I think a couple of years ago I did the countdown for the New Year's Times Square New Year's right over here, and when the countdown came down, everybody was watching the ball drop on Times Square, and then they turned around and there were some nice fireworks that happened in Central Park. So you just have to turn around, and like you see all these high-end hotels on the right, and Central Park to the left, right in front. So it's a beautiful view in these hotels, you can imagine. And then right across on this side here, you see that famous Apple. That was a brand new store. I remember when they just opened it up. I was there working to help do the finishing touches. And then you have those high-end stores on Fifth Avenue right behind us. We just passed Fifth Avenue. So right now I'm on the road to heading towards Queensbridge. So yeah, in these areas there's a lot of high-end fashion places, business suits, clothes, and for women, bags, accessories, those sort of thing in this area. And the one thing you do not look forward to from driving is the bumpy roads, and it gets like that because of the so several reasons. The when it snows, they salt the roads up, and it creates these potholes during the winter. And also, see a big pothole right here. Have to avoid this. It's very bumpy and shaky. So it's almost like a country road in New York City, because so much salt on the ground, it sits there. It has the corrosiveness, and eats away on the ground. And the other parts that make the potholes is when they install underground electricity, gas, all the utilities. I guess if the phones, the fiber optics are underneath the ground as well. Whatever they install, so they dig up the streets, and of course construction, installation of water as well. So all these are factors that causes these streets to not be always smooth. It's always dug up. All the constant construction, always things are happening. It was the city that never sleeps until COVID happened, and then they had these curfews of people being out, and now it's almost back to normal. But some businesses never recovered. They permanently closed down. It's been very tough to own business, especially in New York City, because the rent has continually went up, and you'll see a lot of places are for rent, for sale, so if you have a little cash and you want to start a business, now's the time to find a place. But the thing is, what will take away so much is the rent. So it's really not a wise move to come to a place like New York City unless you have a long-term plan to. I had to give him a little friendly honk because he was sleeping there on the wheel. Now we got this bicyclist on the middle of the driving lane. And no, I have to give it to the people who hustle very well. They're delivering, making deliveries on bicycle. And the bicycle lanes has been very useful and helpful for them, as well as for people casually that want to have a bicycle ride. But the problem I'm having is that if you go in heavily congested roads where traffic you need these traffic lanes for cars, for trucks, for business, for all these things. For cars, you need the lanes for cars to let the cars have smooth traffic. Now if you have a bicycle lane, you'll congest traffic in these major roads. You could have on the side roads, maybe you could have the bicycle lanes. New York City, it was not built to be well, initially they had the smallest streets, especially in downtown area. One of these days, upcoming, we'll do like a walk around in the downtown financial district area, and we'll see how narrow those roads are. And that's how New York City initially started, especially for Wall Street trade area, you know. And just a side note, maybe I'll quiz if whoever's watching. The New York City became like the World Trade Center area, but initially that was the Middle East, that was Palestine, that was those areas where people did all the shipping quite literally via ships. And so all the things to trade, which is fish, which is all these special seasonings, all these came from the ships all around the world. You know, Palestine was the World Trade Center. It is also, of course, the place of and Judaism. You know, just take a note, because I talk about politics, start talking about the history. So that's just like a little insight to the things that we're gonna start streaming about. I also go to the gym. I do gym stream. When I travel, like when I go to TwitchCon or these major conventions, we're gonna try and visit different towns and do different activities. Like if we go to the beach, we'll do like a beach stream. And right now we just crossed the Queens Bridge. We're just about to cross it. I think I'll get some dinner on my way home. He made an illegal turn there. So now we are Queens. We are in Queens. We just landed off of the Queens Bridge, the bridge that connects Manhattan to Queens. Well, this is one of several bridges that connect Manhattan. Manhattans have several bridges that connects to it. Also has tunnels. And the Midtown tunnels have their tolls, of course, because they need to maintain those tunnels. But when it comes to these bridges, the federal government has always contributed to the states for their infrastructure of the building, for maintenance of these bridges, and now for the New York City to try and weasel its way to try and collect money for maintenance of these bridges, or for what it was called. It was called a this is something that they try to start initiating with these crazy agendas of these mayors we've been having recently. New York City mayors, poor planners, really don't know what they're doing. They're creating chaos in the city. That's how I started this stream. But there's a lot of great things about New York City. The only thing is, when you come to New York City, you got to have some extra cash that you didn't expect to spend, because it's quite ridiculous the amount of money you got to spend to be in when you travel. When I traveled to San Diego 2 years ago for TwitchCon, it was the most expensive trip I ever did in my life. And I'm gonna try to be a little bit more wiser, and so I'm gonna most likely go to San Diego again this year. And I know what it is. I've been around there. I mean, I'm familiar with the area because I've driven around there now. The convention center, I know what it's like now. Their gas lamp district. Talk about gas lighting. That's what these politicians are doing these days, gaslighting people about all the things, their decisions. They're kind of like, they think that we are blind to the truth, so they kind of assume that we don't know what they're doing. They're receiving funds. Right now we're in Sunnyside, Queens, and on the left you see the one of the New York City trains, overhead platforms. Okay, so we got a troll in chat, or is it oh, it's a spammer. We got a spammer in chat, obviously. Let's see. Yeah, so we're here in Sunnyside, Queens. A lot of places to buy food, fast food. Now, one thing we will not do ever again is get McDonald's or Burger King or Starbucks, because we know where their support lies in the illegal occupied state that is doing the mass murder and genocide and creating this apartheid in the land of Palestine to all the Palestinian people. That's atrocious, and the world will eventually fight back against this, because this is horrible to people, and I really you know, this is a safe place as well. A safe space to talk about things. You just have to be respectful and be polite and courteous, and act in a responsible way when you're in chat. When it comes to certain things that's entered chat, please be mindful. Let's see. I'm just going to take a quick break so I could look at the chat, and yeah, so right now yes, there's nothing I could do with that. All right, so All right, so let's end the stream now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's see if I could turn this around. Yeah, I did. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to the stream. It's a short little stream just to talk about a little bit of the city. And right now I'm kind of hot because I dressed for the cold, but it ended up being so warm right now. It's so warm outside. I'm gonna try and stream again very, very soon. I've got a lot of things to do in stream, which is the gym, and also to do more IRL streaming. We got to walk around downtown and start talking about the history of the world and New York City and how that encompasses. So that's like an introduction for those new people to my stream. I love politics, and to me that's like a general chat topic of the discussion. But if we get, yeah, so I will always bring about that. I will always talk about politics, but in general speaking, and I welcome good chat. But when it comes to certain topics of people that support the wrong, the evils of the world, we will put the open discussion to a minimal, because we don't want people to push their oppression in theory to everybody else. That's just want to let you know about that. But thank you so much for tuning in. I'll try and raid. So if you're in the chat, stick around. I'm gonna go in for the raid. And thank you so much. We'll do this again very, very soon. Thank you for tuning in.